Let's go to Luke Man and Vallejo. Luke Man, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I love it. Hey, everything that happened last night, I'm just looking. First, I'm going to look towards the future. I'm going to say this really gives our young guys an opportunity to really step up like they did last night. Let's just see who fills what position where. Me, I'm the biggest Kuminga believer. I think he's going to have a bigger opportunity. Let's see if he seizes it. I think, we already know Pod's going to play. And let's just see what Kerr does with Klay's minutes. If he stretches them out and uses different rotations with them, including with Draymond being out. And last thing, Draymond is Rudy's dad.
Well, Rudy got the last laugh last night.
I mean, they won it. He had 3 blocks down the stretch?
In the fourth quarter. And that's where the basketball game, we talked so much about the Draymond because it's a hot button topic and you know what time it was, and it overshadowed the basketball game. But when you look at the fourth quarter, Warriors had a 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And you're just thinking, boy, if they could get a couple baskets early, extend that lead to 11. But right away, Mike Conley Jr. hits a 3. Boom! Or he hits a 2, a long 2. And it's like, they're down 5. And then the Warriors just couldn't. They started off 1 of 8 in the fourth quarter, 5 turnovers. Overall, they shot 6 of 21 in the fourth quarter, 28.6%. They were 3 of 11 from the three-point line. Nobody could buy a basket. Chris Paul was 2 of 4, but he passed up an open mid-range jumper. But it was the presence of Gobert that made him pass it to the corner. And Rudy was able to force Chris Paul into a pass, recover, and then block a shot in the corner of Dario Saric. Big-time play by Rudy Gobert. You have to tip your cap and give him credit.
And he got a defensive foul on a rebound play that was a very big one where he split the free throws. Gobert was awesome in the fight. So was Cat. And then that big offensive rebound that the Warriors couldn't snag on the defensive end that gets circled around, and Cat hits the 3.
No doubt. So the Warriors, they struggled in the fourth quarter. They turned the ball over 6 times in the final frame. 6 times. And they get outscored 28-18. Minnesota goes on the 8-0 run to win that game. So, look, man, at the end of the day, there's a lot of positives, right? Brandon Podziemski, you may have a player there.
I
Steve
hope,
Kerr mentioned before the game that, hey, without Stephen Curry, I get to experiment with different combinations. That's what this is about. We're trying to build for the playoffs. We're not going to win a championship November 14th. We're going to win a championship in June. So we're far from a championship team, from being a championship team, but you got to build to that stuff. So Podziemski, you may have a player there, all right? Jonathan Kuminga, he's got to step it up. He's got to play better yesterday. Now, he had a good weekend getting to the free throw line, but he's got to become more consistent. And, by the way, he's shooting less than 20% from the three-point line. So he's got to work on that. Chris Paul can still run point guard.
The shot looks better than that,
It looks better, but he's just not hitting right now.
20%.
It's all good. He'll get it going. Hopefully he gets it going. I don't know if he will, but he will hopefully get it going. And if he can't, then we're going to have a different conversation in January and February around the trade deadline.
Well, to get into the weeds here, he rolled with Corey Joseph way longer than I wanted him to. He hit the bank 3, and everyone was like, all right, you squeezed the bank 3 out of Corey Joseph. Right. But I wanted to see Moody get in there a little earlier. Again, this is a very deep criticism, but he was too quick. He was, too long with Corey Joseph, and I would have went quicker to Moses Moody.
No doubt.
Especially in that fourth quarter.
Moses Moody he had 1 shot attempt in the fourth quarter. He nailed that shot attempt. Moses Moody had 2 rebounds, 3 points. In that fourth quarter, only played 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
Not enough.
So I want to see a little bit more Moses.
Yeah.
And now you got to navigate the waters without Stephen Curry for a couple days. He's day-to-day with the right knee sprain, so you got to get back on track here. You do not want to fall below 500. You were just at 6-2, 6-3, rolling, coming back home. Now you lost 4 in a row.
Didn't you think that there's a certain unit, Trace Jackson-Davis, Podziemski, I believe CP3's out there, Moody, when they're all out there, the ball is hopping. Yeah, that's quick decisions, quick passes. It really feels like those guys all trust, hey, I'll make a pass to somebody who'll make a smart decision. I'll get it back in a better spot to score. It really... That's a very selfless unit. I don't know who the fifth guy is usually with them, but I really like that unit together.
Yeah, they're hopping. And you get Chris Paul surrounded by shooters, you can see what he can do.
Yes.
He's not blowing by guys off the dribble. However, he is putting the offense in the right spot, and he is getting – I thought Chris Paul played very well. The plus-minus has Chris Paul. What did it have Chris Paul at?
He had one
-9. Right. Chris Paul played better than the -9.
I agree. He had one bad pass into traffic late that I didn't love. It was like a cutting to the hoop play by two guys, and there was like 3 defenders. He's had a couple of more turnovers in the last few games than what he had. He was so prolific early on, but he's been really good. He had a couple big rebounds and a couple of steals too.
There's so many memes yesterday. The entertainment business. I am glad that basketball's back, folks. Every day there's something in the NBA.
Is that the best rivalry right now? Gobert, Draymond?
Absolutely incredible.
Now it is, I guess. Or is it Draymond against Edwards? Is it Draymond against Minnesota? Is
Dylan
it Draymond
Brooks
against
versus
Boston? Is it Dylan Brooks against the Warriors? Dylan Brooks is coming to town on Monday. Dylan Brooks smells blood, and the Rockets are playing some good basketball.
Is it Tristan Thompson versus Draymond? Because they were barking the whole game at each other.
Well, they just did a podcast together.
And Tristan doesn't. Did they?
Yeah. They did a podcast. He was on the Draymond Green show a couple years ago. A couple years ago.
Oh, they were screaming at each other.
But the streets say that Draymond didn't do anything to Tristan Thompson in the club, not in L.A. That's what the streets say.
What happened? They were in a club together?
Yeah, apparently Tristan Thompson slapped him. That's what the streets say.
Is there video footage to accompany the streets talk, Jay-Z?
I don't think there was a leak this time.
Oh, dude, Spadoni, your work today has been phenomenal.
Joe at Concord, get this call, Spadoni. I'll be the judge whether or not you're doing a great job.